Welcome to episode 9 of Coffee with Robbie. Today's episode is brought to you by my wife, who says networking equals not working. That's when I took a lot of coffee meetings back in the day, and I always told her I was going networking events, and that's when she told me networking equals not working. She made this for me, so thank you to my wife. Today, I'm going to talk about, if you are 40 and over, how you can reinvent yourself in today's market, how you can rebrand yourself, and how you can succeed in today's career environment. And let's dive right into it. Number one, I want to talk about some misconceptions that you need to understand. Number one, being jack of all trades, master of none is no longer a selling point. Get that out of your mind. Being jack of all trades, master of none is no longer a selling point. Today's career environment expects you to be very good at very few things. And if you're good at other things, that's a plus. However, that is not your selling point. So you understand that when you are interviewing or you are pitching to somebody or you're talking to somebody, understand this, that the riches are in the niches, okay? The riches are in the niches. Being jack of all trades, master of none is no longer a selling point. So when you're talking to somebody or interviewing with somebody, when you pitch them, tell them the one or two things that you're really, really good at. That should be the majority of your conversation. And talk about, for example, I'll give you an example. I was interviewing someone for a marketing position. That was looking for someone I was looking to hire someone. And I was talking with her. She's been doing marketing for a long time, has a lot of great experience. But when we talked about it, she talked about all the different things that she knew and that she had experience in. And there was a lot of things. It was impressive. However, it didn't fulfill my needs. There's a few things within digital marketing that I needed someone to be really good at. And that is where a lot of people are looking. They're looking to hire someone that solves a specific problem that they have. Again, if they know different things, other than that, that's great. However, I'm never going to hire someone, and I think other hiring managers are never going to hire someone that are good at many things but lack that one or two things that they know that they can help them with. And so be cognizant of that. And for many of you, you're actually really good at one or two things. You're just not expressing it properly. And it comes off as this, I just know all these things and experience in all these things. But the perception on the other side is, I think that's great. However, you're not a fit for what I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone specifically that's going to grow my blog. I'm looking for someone specifically that can grow my sales team, but using certain tactics that I know that we're not good at. And it's no longer a positive to be good at everything. People don't buy it, and so that's your first misconception that would be great for you to understand, is that being jack of all trades, master of none is no longer a positive. So understand when you're talking to someone that don't pitch yourself as that is not doing you any good. Number two, this might be a harder pill for you to swallow, but number of years of experience is no longer a positive. It's not a negative, but it's not a positive. It's not a selling point. If you have 19 years experience versus someone with 6 or 7 years experience, that doesn't trigger someone to say, well, you know what? I'm going to hire someone with 19 years experience. And let me tell you why. The reason is technology is growing so fast. Social media is growing so fast. I'll give you a great example, Snapchat. Last year, Snapchat had a horrible connotation. People are like, only teens use it, and it's for, dick pics. I can swear it's my own channel. And a year later, the demographics of people on Snapchat is insanely different. Older people are on it. And just yesterday, someone over 50 asked my wife to add her on Snapchat. This is insane. This was a grandmother telling my wife to add her on Snapchat. It is now acceptable for these people to be on Snapchat. And even on the reverse spectrum, 10, 11, 12, 13-year-olds are getting on Snapchat. Technology changes so quickly. So when we talk about your year's experience, the reason it's no longer a selling point is because we know technology changes so fast. And that those years' experience, do they really transfer over to today? And to be good at marketing, if you led marketing for like Coca-Cola or something 10 years ago, does that really make a difference now? Because the game has changed so quickly. And so the number of years experience is no longer a selling point. If you find yourself trying to convince somebody, well, you have more years experience and you know more than them, it does not work. You can't express that because people know technology changes so quickly. Third is, and I've talked about this in plenty of episodes, the resume is dead. It's done. It's now a formality. It's now a formality to give to HR before you get a job offer to store for their records. If you find yourself applying for a job, especially if you have a lot of experience and you're kind of a jack of all trades type of person, you know that's not going to work. It's just not. People are looking, especially if they're hiring via resumes, they're looking via buzzwords. And they see with a lot of experience, there might be this expectation that, man, I need someone that's going to be more modern. Okay, so the resume is dead. You and I both know that. It's not going to help you advance your career. Focus on LinkedIn and build your profile there. That's my only recommendation of that is don't focus on your resume. Focus on your LinkedIn profile. That is your message to the world. So when you're writing your description, when you're writing it, you can write in first person. No longer, you can't say, and again, I talked about this my last episode, I have 19 years experience and this blah, 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 blah. It's buzzword bingo. Nobody cares, and it doesn't mean anything. So when you write your message, your summary in LinkedIn, write in first person and explain who you are and what your experience is and the value that you bring. Make sure it focuses on one or two things. What is the value that you bring to any company? Here's an exercise for you to do. I want you to text 5 of your closest friends, colleagues, ex-colleagues, whatever that is, and ask them this question. If you were forced to pay me $1,000, what would I do for you? Or what would you make me do for you? Again, if you were forced to pay me $1,000, what would you hire me to do for you? Now, $1,000 is not a joke, right? This question will bring out what they think, how they perceive you, what your strength is. Do it, and you can send me an email at Robbie@firemeibegu.com. You can comment on this video on what the results were of that, however you want, but ask that question. That's a great exercise for you to do. And last but not least, if you're looking to rebrand yourself and you feel like people don't understand you properly and your message is not out there, it's because you haven't explained it properly. You're being wrongly connotated with someone who has a lot of experience, who's being jack of all trades, master of none. Here's my one piece of advice for you, and this works. If you're really interested in rebranding yourself, if you're really interested in advancing your career, do this. It works. Become the teacher. If you become the teacher, you will succeed. I guarantee it. If you become the teacher, you will succeed. Now, what does that mean? Again, that does not mean go apply, to become a high school teacher or junior high or college or whatever that is. That does not mean that. It means use the tools of today to tell people, to teach them about what you're good at. Spread your knowledge. If you become the teacher, people will notice. And now the question is, well, how do I create this video? You can do it if you have a Mac or a PC. Use your webcam. The quality of this video is really not that great. So if you do it and you do it consistently, and you tell, either create videos or write content on Facebook. Did you know you can use Facebook Notes to create long form content, or Medium.com or LinkedIn.com? The platforms are there. If I'm you, I would start with Facebook. Facebook is where most of your ex-colleagues are, your friends are, and probably where you spend a lot of your time. Start on Facebook. People will notice, and then post those videos on LinkedIn or post those articles on LinkedIn. But become the teacher. Teach me something. Give me tactics. Think about what I'm doing. I'm teaching you. I'm very passionate about it, but I'm teaching you it. This will help you change your brand. People will think of you differently. I am not a certified career coach. I took no lessons on how to become a career coach or any training. But you perceive me differently because I'm teaching you something. Become the teacher. Use the tools of social media to do it. Forget about all the different stuff about social media and learning social media. It's learn the basics, but create content. Don't just share content. Create it. If you become the teacher, I guarantee you will see success. And this is not just for people 40 and over. This is for everyone. Not many people do it, but if you teach me something, you will see success. Do it. Thank you.